Good morning, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical L's Network, part of the Fans for Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Well, slow news in the NFL. Well, Browns news. You don't see any, which is great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, LeBron James. he is sucking all the oxygen in the Cleveland media. And a week from this Wednesday, this on the 23rd, the rookies report, and you don't hear a lot of Browns news, which is good news. I don't want to hear Cleveland sports talk media or the social media freaks projecting things. We're still getting lists. I mean, Denzel Ward is now listed as number 7th cornerback in the league. He's still top 10. He's 29 years old. I think that's pretty damn good. And Jared Verse was an honorable mention. I think it's Bleacher Report that's doing these listicles. And that's fine with me, too. I have no problem with that. The kid is multi-talented. They say he's a one-trick pony because all he does is a power move. Go back and watch some highlights. He does spin moves too. So I'm not worried about Jared Verse. Now, I'm definitely not worried about defensive line. All right. So no big news. The big thing since the last time we talked was that my least favorite sports media type, Mike Florio, did some magical research on Deshaun Watson's injury insurance. Let me tell you, it was a landmark day when Mike Florio had to admit he was wrong and correct himself. You will never see that with national media, especially Florio. Look, I take everything he says about the Browns with a grain of salt because he's a Steeler fan. So he does not like the Cleveland Browns. But to actually have to admit he's wrong, that's pretty good. Now, I'm a self-employed accountant. I've done this. I just finished my 35th year. Well, I'm still in. I got extensions. But this is what I do for a living. And I was always curious about the salary cap. And when when they adjusted everything and the collective bargaining agreement came out, I determined that I was going to learn about the salary cap. And I'm pretty good at it. I'm not Jack Duffin good at it, but I'm good enough to know how it works. I don't go on to the radio and say, I don't know how it works, and then give an opinion about something. If you don't know how something works, don't give an opinion about it because you don't know how it works. That's just common sense. But I do know how it works. Now, NFL injury insurance is about as complicated as compensatory draft picks. When they announce before the draft, you get those comp picks. There's some secret formula the NFL has out there. It's like the spice formula for KFC chicken. It's guarded and no one knows it. And there's a few people who are starting to figure it out. But the insurance injury insurance is a whole nother ballgame. You're dealing with HIPAA rules. You're dealing with a bunch of stuff. But so since Florio put that thing out, where they get 88 million cap relief, I knew that was wrong as soon as I read it. I mean, I'm not that knowledgeable, but I knew it was wrong. I mean, I'm sorry, but I do know how it works. So I've done a lot of research since then, and I dived in. I go to Over the Cap. If you want to know about cap space and contracts, that is the ultimate best website. It's easy to learn. They explain everything perfectly. And they're usually, when a new contract comes out, they are first to report it, the correct numbers, not the agent numbers you see on Twitter, the correct amount. So I highly suggest you go to Over the Cap. They've been keeping track of this injury insurance for the Browns. And what I can garner between, I believe the gentleman's main name is Corey or Troy, and Jack Duffin, who really dives into this stuff. What I can figure, now you got to remember one thing about the insurance. You get that credit the following year. It's like salary cap credit. You don't get cash. The owner doesn't get a check. It's not like life insurance. You get a cap credit the following year. So in 2023, Deshaun Watson got hurt after week 7. So we'll start there. First of all, you've got to miss 6 games before the insurance credit for the next year kicks in. Now, what I have, and let me tell you, this is mind-numbing stuff. I know it's not exciting. It's not exciting as who throws the best out pattern of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. But I'm trying to explain to you so you understand that a team can insure a player. And I believe it's for 96 or 95% of their salary, of their cap hit. I'll just use that, of their cap hit. So Watson's cap hit, $46 million a year. So if it's 96%, I think it's 96%. It might be 95. I'm not going to quibble. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. So they basically are insuring Deshaun Watson for $44 million a year. Now, if you know how insurance works, and I know there's a lot of people out there who do, you can insure someone for a certain amount, but you're not guaranteed to get that amount. You can insure somebody for $1 million, and then they start smoking and they die of lung cancer. You're not going to get that $1 million back. All right. They will give you something because you have paid in monthly for life insurance, but you're not going to get the $1 million. And that applies the same with the NFL players. So if it's $44 million every year, the Browns, and it's usually quarterbacks, with exception, they insure other players, but most of the time, almost all the time, teams insure their quarterback. Like Lamar Jackson, I'm sure Baltimore has a injury insurance on them. Same with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Same with Josh Allen up at Buffalo, Mahomes in Kansas City. The team will insure these players because they're the best players on the team. They're the most important players on the team. I'm not going to get into how overrated the quarterback position is in the NFL right now, but they are the most important players on the team. So before I get into that anymore, let's take a quick break. So it's Sunday morning. I am numbing your mind with financial numbers. So the Browns, they insure Deshaun Watson, of course. So in 2023, he gets hurt week 7 against the Bengals. So he qualifies for the insurance doesn't kick in unless they miss 6 games. So he qualifies for that. So the way I figured it, and I put this in my blog this week, the way I figured it, they got a credit in 2024 for 23 of a little over $1 million. And then in 2024, he missed the entire season. So the way I figure it, I'm in the neighborhood of somewhere around 4.5 to 4.7. It may be more, maybe less. So far, the Browns have gotten cap credit for Deshaun Watson's injury of about, well, a little under, let's just go a little under $6 million. That's it. That's why I knew Florio was wrong, because I knew this already. I had already done the research, and I knew this when he came out and said they got $88 million in cap credit. That's my dog, Scout. She's very happy to see somebody walking past the house. I knew it was wrong. So now everybody, so if you hear anybody say, well, they're going to get, he has an injury insurance, they're going to get $46 million. No, they're not. That's ridiculous. No. It's a very complicated formula. So looking at 2026, if he were to miss 2026 with an injury and not play at all, then the way I figure it, and I could be wrong, it could, 2025. I'm sorry. Excuse me. 2025, last year. We don't know. But if I figure this right, it's somewhere in the neighborhood, a cap credit of 15 to 25 million. You really, like I said, you really don't know, because NFL injury insurance is like a mystery. So they will get a cap credit probably next year, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 25 million. Now, this is based, like I said, on I read anything Jack Duffin puts out on cap and injury insurance, anything. I eat it up like crazy. I go to Over the Cap. They explain everything. When they do an article, I read it. So that's basically what you're looking at. Now, somebody this week had an article about dead money. And that seems to only concern local media in Cleveland when they think they know what dead money is. The Browns don't care about dead money. Yes, they have a ton of dead money this year, 116 million, but they don't care about that. They pay upfront cash. I've explained this numerous times. And they have a lot of key players on rookie contracts or undrafted rookie contracts or second-year contracts, so they can afford that. As a matter of fact, on this list, the Browns had 4 players in the top 10 with dead money. Of course, Deshaun Watson is going to be your number one leader in that, but like I've always said, they're going to take care of that next year. Day 2, league year, he becomes a June 1st cut, post June 1st cut, and they spread out his $86 million they still owe him over 2 years. No big deal. Salary cap always goes up 8 to 10% per year, and they can absorb that. They'll have money. They'll have Joe Bitonio's $23 million won't be on there. Myles Garrett's won't be on there. The dead cap will fall instantly. The one thing about the NFL is they know how to make money. It was announced recently that the Seahawks were going to sell for $9.6 billion, $10 billion for an NFL team. Everybody talks about the popularity of soccer in the world, which it is. It's the most popular sport in the world, and I've been enjoying the World Cup. I knew the USA would lose. I mean, come on. They were ranked 16th. Belgium was ranked 9th. USA just can't seem to beat European teams. And that was their 6th loss in a row to Belgium. So, I know a little bit about soccer. I learned to play it as a kid from some Danish exchange students through our church. They taught the whole neighborhood how to play. And I played in high school. So, I know soccer. And it is, you can argue the Premier League is popular professional league. NFL is the most popular pro sport in this country, and they can do whatever they want to. They will not lose money. When you can sell a team for $9.6 million, these owners can absorb a contract like Deshaun Watson. Ever since he got hurt in that Week 7 game against Cincinnati in 23, the Browns have been figuring out a way to get rid of him. So he's gone. I can't see him, like I keep saying, I can't see him playing anytime soon for the Cleveland Browns. So, little news and notes I've learned. You know, a lot of people get close, like I said, week from Wednesday, rookies report. Everybody, you know, will probably start, once LeBron makes up his mind, we'll probably start hearing more and more about contract extensions. And the big one in the room is Grant Delpit. I have heard that they have started talking with his representatives. Same with Ronnie Hickman. They love Ronnie Hickman. They want to extend him. They don't want to keep putting him on these exclusive right contracts. They want to extend him, and Denzel Ward might get an extension. You know, you heard all this crap about them trading him. He has said he wants to retire as a Cleveland Brown. He and the Browns, his representative in the Browns, have talked. What they're trying to do is to take some of his salary and his signing bonuses and turn it into guaranteed money. That's what he'd like. He's 29, so it'll probably be a 3-year extension with some voidable years. So maybe 2 or 3, just extend out the guaranteed money a little further so it doesn't hurt the team cap-wise. So that's what I'm hearing. Very important, especially Delpit and Hickman. I cannot wait to see Grant Delpit, Ronnie Hickman, and McNeil Warren playing in the same secondary. I do worry about the cornerback depth. I still think they need a slot corner. I wish they would just. I wish they signed somebody before training camp starts, but probably not going to happen. I don't know. We got over a week. I mean, Andrew Berry just pulls things out of a hat constantly. Wouldn't surprise me if they did. Like I've said, they also need a defensive end. They needed a veteran defensive end when they had Myles Garrett. And a veteran number 2 tight end wouldn't hurt. Just saying. So that's it for today. I hope it didn't bore you with a bunch of salary cap and insurance information. Just remember, if a team insures a player for a certain amount of money, they are not guaranteed to get that money if that player gets hurt. That's how insurance works. So let's hope Deshaun Watson doesn't play in 2026. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And let's hope the cap credit they get from last year will be in the $15 to $20 million range. That's what I'm guessing. And this is a total guess. Just from reading articles and looking at what people are saying. I'm sure Jack Duffin will have a more in-depth article. And as soon as I see it, I will share it, repost it, because he knows what the hell he's talking about when it comes to salary cap. All right, that's it for today. I want to thank you for joining me here on the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Ills Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'd like to thank you for following, watching, listening, and subscribing to us here at the Fanatical Ills Network. We're just Browns fans just like you. And we love the Browns, and we want to see them do well. We want to see them win. So thank you for joining me this morning, and everybody, go Browns.